Start broadcast, and we'll see when it goes live on here, and then we can get things going. Yeah, we're there, man. Excellent. Welcome. Oh, our first screw up already. All right, I'm going to start. You ready? I'm going to say that's a yes. Welcome to Disturbed. We're back. And yeah, we didn't finish last season, but I promise we will. Today we're talking Season 8, Episode 1, The End. But it's not for us.
The end.
No. It's the end, though, according to what's happening in this show. Real quick, let me give the description and then let's jump into the show. After a nuclear attack, a select few must survive in a bunker dubbed the Outpost 3, ruled by a tyrannical matriarch. That's the description from IMDb. That is concise.
Yes.
So before we get into it, let's do a little bit of business. First of all, if you want to reach out to us on social media, we are really active on social media now. We have a Facebook page. Just look up Disturbed Podcast. We have Twitter. It is Disturbed Pod. I don't really do the Instagram thing with this. So if you want to follow on Instagram, you can follow me at Rob Southgate, or you can follow the company at SMG Pods. And Chris, where can they follow you?
Absolutely. I can be followed at blueboxcafe.com or blueboxcafe or blueboxcafe176 on social media.
And a little bit more here, if you want to send us an email, we do respond to emails. And if you send something good, if you put something cool, you send us an email, we will read it on the show. Although most things we got were, hey, where'd you guys go? And are you finishing the last season? So rather than go through all those, I'm just going to say we were busy and we're back. And we're going to make that up to you guys. I promise you. Email, send it to southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. That will go right to me. I will pass that on to Chris. If there's something private, like you're like, oh, Chris, you're totally Clooneying it and Rob is disgusting, and you don't want me to see that, put a note at the top, like for Chris's eyes only. And know that I will be singing the James Bond theme if you do that. Okay.
Thank you. So don't ever do that. That's all I have to say.
Don't ever do that.
Ever.
So, okay. Let's see. Did we get everything out? I think we did. And we also do post all of these on YouTube. It's funny. We've been doing Orange is the New Black again, and somebody reached out and said, hey, do you put these on YouTube? They didn't know we did. I went back. I did the entire catalog, put it all on YouTube, so it was all in one playlist. Man, those numbers are lighting it up. So same thing here. I will go back and make sure every episode is on the Disturbed playlist. So if you do get your podcasting goodness through YouTube, you can get it there. I may actually take the live video here and pop that over there too. So that way, if you want to watch Chris and I, you can
eat and talk and stuff.
Yeah. Eat and talk and look unshowered and get a little glimpse into our world.
That. Yes.
So Chris, I think it's time we jump into this insanity.
Oh, it's out of control. It's great.
Wait, I got one more question.
Yes.
This is a question for the audience, and I'll put up a poll about it. Do you prefer we do all of Season 8 and then go back and finish out Season 7, or are you really hoping that we can get kind of caught up and want us to try to do Season 7 while we do Season 8? I think we have, 5 episodes left?
3, I thought.
Is that all we have?
I think we only had 3 episodes left. I thought.
Oh, man. We should totally finish those. But let's see what the audience says.
All I have to say.
The audience might be into it and say, like, no, do it afterwards so you don't get behind. Or they might say, no, we want to hear those last 3 episodes. Give us some extra content. Let us know. And also, one more thing. We do have a Patreon for Southgate Media Group. I'm thinking we might start a Patreon for this show because this stuff costs money. It costs a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of money.
And we need razors. So apparently.
Yeah, and soap. But we will put up a Patreon. I'm thinking I'm going to do one for Disturbed. Let me know that too. Send us a shout out wherever and just say, hey, you want it on you want Disturbed to have its own, or no, it's good enough to have it be the main one. If we do our own Disturbed one, we'll have to come up a way to come up with some extra content for you,
like finishing season 7.
Yeah, no, that'll go on the free stuff, but maybe we'll do something like maybe we'll do an occasional horror movie review or something different on there. Maybe a binge worthy. I don't know. So okay, now I'm done with all that business. Chris,
yes.
Back to the last statement we made. Holy crap! What the hell was going on in this episode?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I told you when I saw it that I was like, "Oh my god, have you seen it yet?" And you said, "No, I'm watching it later." And it's
nuts.
It's and I like the turn that it's not necessarily horror right now. It's just insanity, because I think there's a lot of insanity going on, or perceived insanity, and this is good for that. So, yeah.
Well, okay, so. First of all, the way the thing starts, where it shows us the nuclear holocaust,
yes,
I was transfixed. This is something that I think about a lot. This is something that how it goes down, I think about. Not that I have a fear of it, where I'm sitting here going, "Oh God, what's going to happen?"
Yeah.
It's more just like thinking about the scenario, because I like post-apocalyptic video games and books, and just kind of like, what is that moment like? And please God, don't ever let us have that moment. But if it does, I think that was a really, really interesting take, because it was taking place in LA. You saw how these, and this is not a slam on LA, I have friends there, but there are definitely a higher percentage of self-absorbed people concentrated in there.
Oh, sure.
And I think that in a salon on Rodeo Drive, that's exactly what you're going to get.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It would be, I think they do a good job of encapsulating stuff that the average American doesn't relate to and making it accessible, I think. And making it seem there. And I think it's very, I don't want to say realistic, but it's realistic to the perception, for sure.
Yes. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, it's really good.
Definitely. I loved, what's her name? Leslie Grossman. She plays Coco St. Pierre Vanderbilt. What a great name.
What a great name, yes.
Her, and then...
You just hate her from the beginning. There's not even... God. It's like second one, you're like, I hate you.
God.
It's perfect. She's 2 for 2 in that category.
The only person I can think of that would be better at that type of like smarm is the actress that's on Grace and Frankie, if you ever saw that show. The one who plays the blonde-haired daughter. Well, they're both blonde. But you know who I mean? The one who runs the company. She has that same kind of like snark attitude. It would be different than what Leslie's doing, but she's the other actress. Like, I could see either one of them playing this and playing it perfectly and different. And I'm going to lay it out right here. Evan Peters owns me. My God. We've had it the last couple seasons. Maybe was it the last season where we didn't get as much Evan Peters? No, we did. We got a lot.
No, we didn't get much Evan Peters in Roanoke. He was
That's
that
what
ghost,
I'm thinking of.
But then we got him a lot in Hotel. He was Hotel. It was him
Hotel. He was amazing at Hotel.
Right. So I mean, he hasn't been.
Well, then last season we did get him because he was the one that had the blue hair and he was causing all the stuff.
Yeah, he was the lead in the last season. So,
but this is when Evan Peters rocks it.
Right.
He's playing a character. He's complete. Like he has a lot to do here. Man, I loved him. And I loved his interaction with Leslie. I loved all of it. Let's see. His name is Mr. Gallant.
Yes.
That's so great.
It is fantastic.
So we have the nuclear bombs go off, right?
Right.
I loved how this all went down too, where, people are calling, the father calls. He's like, this is not a scam. This is real. You need to get safe. This is the part of it that I think about, man, right here. They did this thing. See, this is when American Horror Story really works for me, when it smacks of truth. Okay.
Yes.
Where it's like, it's scary. It's weird. I'm sure there are people out there that are going, what an absurd idea that they have these bunkers. Guess what, man?
No,
they do.
They do. Absolutely. Well, there's people in the towns that we live in with nuclear bunkers. Right here in the Midwest.
It's more, well, yeah, there are, but it's more than that. There are whole like areas set up
right
for the ultra rich. It's like in that movie The Day After. Was it The Day After? No, that was the one on TV. Remember the one where where there's the huge geostorm and like they were like making an ark.
The one with Dennis Quaid, that one? No. Interstellar.
No.
But they are making that was the theory they were going to make an ark.
Oh, is that what they were doing in that? I didn't see that one yet. No.
20 years later, it's okay.
No, this is not a good movie. It's kind of a fun movie. It might be The Day After, something like that. But they take all the like super elite people, and it shows everyone like going on to transports, and the super elite people are going somewhere else.
Right.
And where they're going is like a very exclusive area. And the other people, they're really just killing them because they're like, there's not enough resources for all these people, but we're going to let them think that they're getting trucked here so that the rich people can be safe. I mean, it's a crazy idea, but guess what? This kind of thing goes down. This is happening, dude.
Well, if you have the money, you pay for it. But then the realism where they actually select by genetics people, because that's part of the deal is where they grab some boy.
Yeah, when they grab that kid
and the girl,
genetics, and the brother they're not twins. He doesn't have the same genetic makeup.
Exactly.
That was nuts.
Well, that was
I believe they need podcasters though, because it's a form of entertainment that's cheap and keeps people going. So I think you and I stand a good chance of sitting at the forefront of it.
Absolutely. The best chance of any podcaster that's an actual podcaster.
Right.
Which is none.
Now when they see the size of us, they're like, resources.
They're going to eat way too much. So
yeah, we gotta go with one of those little guys. That's not us.
Scott's in. Scott Salmons is in. He's skinny.
Yeah.
Molly's in for sure. So
yeah. So what were you gonna say?
Well, no, we were talking about resources, and I think we should address that because I think that's one of the, I don't want to say holes because that's not the right way to put it, but I'm watching this and some of the things I see are like, that's never going to happen like that. That won't happen like that.
Wait,
not even the realism. Okay. So, and I'm going to go off on this one. You look at The Martian and they have enough food in a spaceship for like 4 people to last a long, long time. For $100 million a seat at those bunkers, which there was 6 of them? Is that what they were selling them for?
The seats at the bunker? Than 6, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, like the parents or
because
whatever.
The parents had 4,
right? And they said $100 million a seat. They should have more resources than what they proclaim to have. Now, I don't know what that means, and I don't know what's happening, but you can buy a lot of freeze-dried food for $100 million.
I'll tell you right now, they're holding out.
Well, they allude to that in the thing, but
I thought the same thing when I was watching it. I thought there's no way they're going to run out. They would probably be able to. I mean, those you can buy those buckets, you know, and you can have food. You know, like survivalists will have food that'll last like 30 years.
Right.
If they're setting up these exclusive bunkers, they're going to have enough food for 100 years for 50 people.
Right.
You know, it's all going to be freeze dried crap. You're not going to have anything great, but you know what? It's food.
Yes, exactly.
And what they were doing there is something weird going on.
Absolutely.
The fact that they were like starving them, they were pushing the food supply down further and further.
Right.
The whole thing with the clothes.
Right.
And I mean, let alone the status stuff, because that for sure. Yeah, we only saw the purples. We didn't see the grays. Right. There are worker bees working there too. There's a ton of people.
You see them.
Yeah, but we only saw the like 8 main people.
Right. Well, no, but they show workers walking around and doing things, and like one guy cleaning the floor and one guy walking them in. And
you walk with the giant wrench behind me.
Yes.
You turn those dials.
Exactly.
Very good,
but
Mini-Me.
But there are other people, but they would take up too much resources. They would take up stuff that you're paying for.
They would, but at the same time, I don't buy that. I believe they would have managed this in a way to say this bunker holds 100 people. Here is 50 years worth of food for all 100, regardless of status. Maybe the ones that paid the higher sum, or the people that have the higher status, they get a little bit more premium stuff. But seriously, dude, they're doing something. They're playing some kind of game. What's weird is, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, is this some kind of setup that there was no nuclear accident? No, there was clearly a nuclear accident. When they showed those horses, they had tumors all over their eyes and stuff. Yeah. When they pulled them into that black, that was the fallout. She was pulling them right into the fallout.
Right.
So that is clearly going on, but they are doing something funky.
Oh yeah.
The 666 could be that this is the apocalypse. This is the like they're going to get into a whole devil thing. It's possible. Yes. And since they are going to tie in past seasons, maybe that's what the tie-in is that these are all the devil's doings. You know what I mean? And this is finally when the devil, like, the door opens for the devil, and this is hell on earth. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the bunker is literally just hell on earth.
Right. Maybe. Who knows?
You know?
I haven't gotten a read on what it is. I want to see what they teased in the trailer, or, with the teaser for next week. I want to see what happens next week before I get. I don't think they gave us
Chris. We're going to get like 10 episodes in. It's still.
Oh, no, I know.
Big guessing and getting it wrong.
I'm just saying, like, I have no idea where this is going, because you're right. Something is going on. Like, the second I saw Sarah Paulson when they got there, I'm like, what the blank is she doing? What's going on? And then you meet Kathy Bates, and you're just like, okay.
Can we just celebrate Kathy Bates for a minute? When she showed up, I'm like, oh yeah, there she is.
Yep, there she is.
I love this show. I love these people. How about the giant woman?
Yes,
who's the soldier? Now I can't remember. Has she been on before?
I don't know.
I mean, it's horrible to say that she was on Freak Show because she's so tall, but she may have played a character on that. I just don't remember. I will say, well, regardless, she's awesome on here. I'm really
is that Leslie Farah?
Is that who it is?
I don't know.
Here, let me look her up here. Nope, that's the cooperative agent. Unless she's an agent in there. Hold on, let me look at her.
Hey, nothing like being prepared, folks. Just want to let you know.
This is as good as it gets. No, that's definitely not Leslie Farah. I don't think we've met her yet. So anyway, I got one more I want to completely.
Yes, hold on. Her name's Erica Irvin. She's 6'7".
I see her. Wow.
She was in Freak Show. Thank you, Rob, for insulting her like that.
Well, no, I wasn't trying to. She played the one. She wasn't the man, the half man, half woman. That was, what's his name? Right? Yes. Here we go. She played Amazon Eve. I just found her. Well, regardless, she's awesome. She was on Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. too.
Amazon. Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's on Hemlock Grove. You know what? We're going to be big fans of hers.
She's a halfway to a giga.
Yeah, she is. I really dug her on this. I thought that was a really interesting character going on back there. But before we go any further, maybe the best cameo of the entire series, Joan Collins shows up. I mean, she was fantastic.
Now, did she star in was she in the Versace thing? Because they do that all the time, where they get them and they cross them over. Or not cross them over, but they'll double dip, like with Cuba Gooding Jr. and all that stuff.
No. She was on the Royals. I don't see anything that was from these guys. She was in the Absolutely Fabulous movie. I might have to go watch that. I love that show. I forgot that they did a movie, and now that I know Joan's in it, this completely made me love Joan. She was so good in this, and she played it perfectly. She was funny. Nothing better than when she's like, it's white meat chicken.
Yeah.
I don't care.
In total denial. She goes, it was wonderful.
That was great. Okay, so
she'll survive the apocalypse because of that, where the other people won't. So
right. That'll be like the magic thing. Oh, you ate human meat. So we're gonna get back to that. I got stuff to talk about with that. But before we do that, I had a thought while I was watching this.
Yes.
So one thought I had was, wow, I've had a lot of coffee today. So anyone listening, sorry. Second thought was, each season is kind of stylistic to a certain type of storytelling or filmmaking.
Yes.
There's always something distinct. And I know that we talked a lot about it, especially like Roanoke was found footage stuff. Last season had a very like, how would you put it? Like, not a CNN look, but like a, like it was a almost.
It was like live news. It was this.
Yeah, like a live news.
It was like a social media, almost kind of YouTube-y kind of feel to it.
Right. Even though there was a lot of stuff that wasn't looking like that. That was kind of the general like thing. And it was playing with like that horror movie aspect, which a lot of them haven't really been horror movie. You know what I mean?
Well, Asylum was totally.
But that was distinct to like a certain type of horror movie.
What was second? I can't think. Was that Murder House?
Murder House was first.
Murder House. Asylum was second. Yes.
Yep. And then the Witches.
Then Coven was third. Yeah.
Yep. So this one, I'm telling you, I'm watching it and I'm getting a total vibe of like late 60s, 70s.
Bad horror.
Grindhouse horror mixed, where it was kind of mixed with sci-fi a little bit. It kind of had that Italian film feel to it. You know what I mean?
That the film noir kind of feel.
But well, not film noir, but that Italian. There was an Italian movement of film where it was this like exploitation thing.
Right. Well, it was hand in hand with the spaghetti western where they just it was like the cheap rip off and I hate to say the 70s Japanese movies, but like that. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got
rip off. I love those spaghetti westerns, man.
I was waiting for Svengoolie to show up. Absolutely, with the rubber chicken. I'm just saying, it was that B grindhouse kind of movie thing.
It had that vibe to it, and I'm digging that. And like even the characters, when you look at when they have to wear those like Victorian clothes, that was kind of a thing they did.
Is it a rip off of what's the show? I can't think of it. I'm drawing a blank. The one on with the late women with the hoods. What's that show?
Do you mean the one that's on Hulu?
Hulu, yeah. What's that?
Handmaid's Tale?
Handmaid's Tale. I got that kind of feel. No?
Well, I guess there's a bit because of that one, it's not post-apocalyptic, but it is the downfall of society, basically, that allows all this to happen. I guess that, if you look at the scenes when they were before everything went to hell, on Handmaid's Tale, it is similar to this.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was totally getting like a what's his name, Argento type feel off of this, and the way the characterizations were and everything. I'm like, yeah, this could be really cool. I thought for sure they were going to kill Evan Peters in that first scene too.
Oh no!
When they shot the other guy, I thought I'm sitting there watching it going, are they going to seriously kill Evan Peters already?
Because they killed Billy Eichner. They gave him his cameo, so they weren't going to kill Evan Peters. So
do we know they killed him?
Well, he's out there. He's not going to show. He would be the guy that shows up. He'd be like wearing Vaseline and show up. But it's been 18 months, so he's done.
Yeah, but we've only seen this bunker. We just had a guy arrive at the end of this saying there's another bunker, a bigger bunker.
Well, we knew that
there are multiple bunkers. What if Billy Eichner ran in and he found?
How is he going to find a bunker? You have to get there and invite. What, are they all going to be in the greater Los Angeles area?
What if he remembered? What if he's like, oh, wait a minute, I know John Goodman has a bunker. I'm going over there.
Right. I'm going over with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Is that her name?
Yeah.
I'm going over there with yeah.
I think she'd be a good time. I'd go over there. Why isn't she on this show?
Yeah, no kidding. So
yeah, I mean, you don't know. There could be something crazy where he goes and like Maybe he'll show up. He'll show up and be like, I survived by going to the Hogan's Heroes set, and there was an actual bunker there. And I climbed into the bottom. I went to the basement of the Alamo and I survived.
That's right.
There's no
There's no basement of the Alamo. Large Marge sent him.
There isn't? Uh-oh. Either that or he shows up like a zombie. I don't think we're going to get into any of that, but I do think, I mean, they set us up twice. There's a breach at the perimeter. The one time it was a pigeon. Second time it was the dude with the horses. But the fact that they said that a couple of times and they went on the alert, I would not be shocked if we don't get some kind of, well, what you call them, pus monsters.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised. We're not going to get Walking Dead. We're not going to get zombies coming in there.
No,
but I could see we get something.
Well, I mean, people
seriously mutated. It doesn't have to be a person.
Well, but things will survive because when they shot the horses and threw them over the ledge, something grabbed the horses and took them.
Did it?
Oh yeah, didn't you remember
I didn't see that?
No, the horses dropped and then something drugged the horses out. Oh yeah.
Wait.
Dude, come on. There's always got to be something lurking.
It's like The Mist, only watchable.
Exactly. Yes, only watchable and not.
I'm not dissing the movie. The movie's watchable. That TV show, holy cow.
Yes, not good. But like, I mean, even like, I hate to say, in real day life, they send drones over Chernobyl, and there's people that live in there because nobody's going to come after them. So there are people and animals and things that are living in a highly radioactive site here on the planet Earth.
Hey, dude, I'll tell you something. You and I know a family that lived close enough that they, for years, have been dealing with radiation poisoning from Chernobyl.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to bust them out here. But I will tell you privately, Chris, and then you'll know not to drink from their water. No, they're completely safe now. But they were dealing with, they didn't get tumors or cancer or any of that stuff. They were far enough away, but they definitely, from the air being irradiated, they just happened to be close enough that for years they've been doing things to get that radiation out of their body. And I think they're finally there.
Good.
It's crazy, man. You ever see those pictures? You talked about the drones. You ever see those pictures they sent in? Maybe it was drones they sent in. You can find it on the internet. Look up Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
And there's pictures of like animals that have been mutated and bugs, and you're like, whoa! Like there's a centipede with like 10 million legs, and it has like, Dom DeLuise's head. Bizarre.
Right. It is. It's crazy.
God, and it's like, I want to see that though.
But that's like what post-apocalyptic Earth would look like. That's exactly what
Pocahontas. Pocahontas is there with 3 heads and a syphilis blanket.
Is she worth $3? That's all I want to say.
Oh,
that's Sacagawea. Sorry.
Right. You know what? This just took an ugly turn because that is a horrible mark on our American history. Actually, I've got another one. As long as we're talking about this eating people, because so basically they didn't say they did because they were like, no, we wouldn't do that. They totally ate that dude, right?
They totally did, yeah.
They totally ate him, and Joan Collins totally didn't care. That was all part of this mind game too. Maybe they didn't eat him. Maybe that was just part of the mind game. But I think they ate him because where did the fresh meat come from?
Well, I mean, they could have had it technically in a freezer, but it is 18 months later, and you would think that they would have like maybe one good meal a week. You know what I mean? If you're sitting there, maybe you're going to eat all the protein packs or the protein cube or the Soylent Green, which I totally got that vibe from that.
And too. Soylent Green is people.
Soylent Green is people, but I'm just saying, like, you got that, your little cube of protein and all that stuff. You would maybe have a meal of meat, if you're planning for 100 years. What are you going to save it up for year 99 and 100? I don't know.
Right.
Oh, hey, we can have the steak now. Awesome. Thank you.
We were saving it. And here's Bob's wedding cake. It's a little dry.
And
this milk is powdered. Okay, so here's what I wanted to talk about with this. I have been, you know me, I binge not only TV shows, but podcasts, right?
Yes.
So I have been fairly obsessed lately with a podcast that I actually, when I first heard it, didn't like. And I told people, I was like, yep. Yeah, This Week in Geek. You're right. No, but I said I didn't like it because it was a comedian and it just kind of felt like that. And I don't really like comedians on podcasts. I like people who just be people. I like Mark Maron.
He's awesome.
He's like one of the exceptions to my rule.
Usually he did it to podcast before he did it to promote himself. He just did it to talk.
Usually it's like hanging out in a room with a bunch of comedians, which I have done. And they're all just trying to be funnier than the other one. And it's not that funny, right?
Right.
So
they don't laugh at each other's jokes. It's bad. So
I actually judged it harshly and then started listening. And now I'm completely obsessed. It is one of the top podcasts out there, and it deserves to be. It's called The Last Podcast on the Left. If you guys haven't listened to this, it's amazing. And you might hate it at first. I hated it. I love it now. And the reason I bring it up is the current one they're doing. What they do is I thought it was going to be horror movies. It's not. They take like a conspiracy story or a serial killer story, and they really dig into it. And then the two guys make jokes, and the one guy really gives all the details. It's really, really, really well done.
Right.
The story they're doing right now, I just listened to part 2 literally before getting on here, is the Donner Party.
Get out of here.
Dude, they're talking all about cannibalism and how it got there. And like, I'm watching this show, and when that flip happened, when they took him in there, I started going, what's going to happen here? When she shot him, I was like, this kind of seems like the Donner Party story.
Right.
It didn't happen that way, but when one went down and they were starving, they finally made the decision and they started going at it. This kind of had that vibe to it. So it just reminded me of that. So what I'm saying is go listen to that podcast and you'll love it, man. You'll love it. You'll hate it at first,
sure,
possibly, and then you'll love it. I'm completely addicted. So
that's good. Well,
that was my side story.
That's your side. When that scene happened, that was a pretty easy pickup, I thought. I'm sitting there with Kathleen, and she hates it when I watch shows with her because I don't want to say I predict everything because that's not true, but
especially with this,
I'll predict a lot of stuff, and she'll be like, "I hate watching shows with you because you ruin them and all this stuff." Because she's trying to figure it out, or she'll get it before me, whatever. But
the Flash is going to live. Why did you ruin it?
Yes, why did they're watching Titanic? The ship sinks. But I'm like, I go, they're going to eat him. They're going to kill this guy, and she's like, no, they're not. I said, yeah. But it wasn't. I mean, it's not like that was a great call because they're in a bunker starving, and I knew he's done. So,
but we didn't know Joan Collins was going to actually like it. That was really funny.
But after 18 months of eating a little cube of food, anything they put in front of you, you put in your mouth and eat it. There would be no. 18 months is long enough. I would think that after 18 months of no meat, if you got a sniff of anything, you wouldn't care what it was. You'd put it down.
Right. Yeah, and you can understand what happened with the Donner Party.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
When you start really researching it, it's harsh. it's tough, but you also go, wow, it sucks. I understand.
Well, so is this a test of how far they can push people in their humanity? Because that would be, is that the social experiment that they're going to see who's going to survive and who's going to drop that, who's just going to survive, who has the, I don't want to say the fortitude, but the willpower to drop away the rules of society to do what they need to do to survive, like probably cavemen did. Back in the day, would they have eaten their own because they're just meat, or would they look at, people the way, I don't want to say the way we look at it, but with the rules of society, you would never do that.
I don't think cavemen were cannibals. I think that it's a rare thing when humans turn to cannibalism. I think that it's in utter starvation.
Sure.
When you're in the mountains and there's snow and there's no food you can dig out of the ground even.
Right.
Like you can't eat grub worms. There's nothing.
Right.
It's more likely to happen.
There was that one documentary when we were kids that was it a Olympic team or something happened and they crashed in the mountains and the only way they survived was
that was Cool Runnings.
They ate John Candy. Is that what happened?
That's a full meal.
Yeah, so that was a big buffet for a lot of people. But but there was a movie that addressed that where they ate the people that died. The people that died and froze in there, and they were just sitting there. They were in the big freezer because they were in the mountains, and they made the decision to eat them when the food ran out because they couldn't find any, and that's how they survived, whatever that number of people was. So,
all right, I don't remember that one, but chances are good I watched it. I watched everything. I just don't remember that. And ironically, I never saw Cool Runnings.
Neither did I. But I just
so it very well could be the movie where there's cannibals.
I could not bring myself to watch that. So now, Silent Runnings with Bruce Dern. Yes.
Yeah, well, of course we watch that. Actually, Cool Runnings, everyone tells me it's a great movie. They say it's really good. I just never got around to it. I figure that's one of those, it'll be on cable sometime, and I'll just be like, oh, I never saw this. Like Waterworld, when I finally saw that.
Yeah, that's awful. It's actually not that bad, but it got a lot of flack. So it's not good, but it's not bad. It was a lot of money for a movie. So
yeah, correct.
And then DC just decided that we can run with that. That works.
Here's our model.
That's right.
So, okay, what else happened in this? I don't know if we've even talked about it. So they had the nuclear fallout. They're in the bunker. They ate somebody. They've got the bizarre uniforms that they wear. How about the masks when Kathy Bates went out? That is like a modern version of the plague mask. I thought that was pretty freaking cool.
Right, but
I want one of those. I don't cosplay. That's the cosplay I would do.
I don't understand what they're wearing for a nuclear hazmat thing. It's like they're wearing big robes. And I don't get that.
Because they're Nazis, man. It's all going to come back to the Nazis.
I'm waiting for the bugs to show up from Starship.
Yeah, man. It could be. What if NPH shows up and he's fighting bugs?
And Harold and Kumar. That would be great. That would be an awesome character.
Oh, I'd totally watch that. What am I talking about? I'm totally watching this.
Cal Penn shows up.
Right. Cal Penn.
And Johnny Cho, is that his name?
Yeah. Sulu.
Yeah.
So
the best, difference that George Takei, best Sulu. He's awesome.
Right. True. So the clothes. We're talking about the clothes. Yeah, those are very Nazi-ish. Once again, they look like Italian sci-fi or Italian horror. It kind of had that vibe to it and has the tubes and everything. I know that it's supposed to be preventing against nuclear fallout. But here's the thing. When they went in and they did the silkwood shower to those guys, not the nude guys, but right in the beginning, they come in their hazmat suits and they do the silkwood shower. They're spraying them down, right? They spray them down. They're all in the same room, though. They step out of the water. The next one goes in.
Right.
But it's not like it just goes right down the drain.
Well, it
would need to be isolated somewhat.
Well, technically, if you get something radiation on it or radiated like that, water will cause because it's so heavy, will cause the uranium and the nuclear or whatever to fall to the bottom of the water. That's why they use water, because water is a great decontaminator. So, like, if that happens, you hose it down, and that's what they did. And they kind of took the futuristic approach about how they're going to do that, but that's what they do if you get contaminated.
So it wouldn't spray all over the other people.
Probably not.
I figured it was like a cat marking its territory. They start spraying it, just goes everywhere, and then you're like, "Oh, I smell like my cat."
I mean, I don't know how realistic what they did was, but I mean, I
like to think everything in this is completely realistic.
Well, I'm just saying they at least made the mention like, "Hey, we have to decontaminate you," and then step to the other side of the room. And
so I was all set to talk about silkwood showers, and then they actually did it.
Yes, they did. I was looking for Cher to show up too. That would have been a great cameo. She cameos in Mamma Mia 2, and then comes right back with
you get Joan Collins, Cher. Oh, this would be amazing.
And
you got a third?
I was trying to think it's just somebody else.
Liza Minnelli?
Liza Minnelli, yes.
I was going to say something really mean, and I'm not going to.
No.
Keeping it to myself. Liza with a Z, you got my respect. So what else happened? So they did all that. They ate the people. The one guy, his boyfriend got killed, and then he was very upset, understandably. Yes.
He was way over the top. Way over the top about it.
Are you sure? I mean,
I thought it was a little ridiculous.
I
mean,
once again, you're talking 18 months isolated like that, and you're watching everybody eat the dude, and he had the best line in the whole show. Stew's a stew. It's amazing. Amazing.
yes.
And then at the end, we have that dude show up, and he basically threatens what's her name? Villanova? What's her name?
Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina. Yeah, Wilhelmina Venable. Yeah, he shows up and threatens Wilhelmina Venable. I thought it was crazy when he's like, yeah, first of all, he's like, I'm here to pick who's worthy. That doesn't mean anybody's worthy. It also doesn't mean that not all of you aren't worthy.
And all of them could be worthy. So
right. But he was totally telling her, like, yeah, guess who's not worthy? It's no, Wilhelmina.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Kathy Bates' character is very interesting. I think she's going to end up being really important. I don't think she's cannon fodder at all here.
Oh, no. She's the soldier. She's the true company person.
Right. And I think that that's what's going to come out is her ties go deep that other way. And she's been betraying Wilhelmina. That's what I think is going to happen. If there even is that element to this, we don't know. We just don't know.
Yeah, because another thing that I hate to say to support, I just noticed it about them holding back when they're in the room together, and they're drinking like wine, and didn't it appear like she was drinking champagne?
Boy, you had good eyes on. I didn't catch that.
Well, I thought, but it didn't seem like they were just drinking normal food, normal stuff. It's like they were doing something different, because they were like completely relaxed.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Now that I think about it, yeah, you're right.
So they're holding it out for themselves. Who knows?
They could also be giving them something different. Not that they're holding out something better. It's maybe they're drinking something like sparkling cider, so they're not putting alcohol in their body, and they're doing things
right
to these guys. Maybe at this point they're doing a whole Kool-Aid acid test on these guys. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
And I was surprised, and I hate to say this about when we're looking at it, where they said no copulation of any kind.
Yeah.
In the was that for everybody, or was that just for the two that they picked?
I think it's for everybody.
Well, I mean, she said it, but if you were going to be in isolation for a long, long time, wouldn't you want to, have babies so you could survive, or would that not matter?
But once again, what if it's the devil, man?
Well, he would want more followers.
No. He's like, yeah, I'm going to control you this way. And the only one making babies is devil babies. And, who knows? Maybe he's trying to root out the Son of God.
Right.
Maybe that's why they're doing this DNA thing. And clearly, a lot of these people, the people that are there that it's not DNA, the devil's collecting them as minions. He's trying to torture them and make them into...
Hey, he's financing his project through...
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. And then the ones that are there for DNA, it's like maybe they have the bloodline and their specific DNA matches what he's looking for.
Right.
He's trying to root out the Son of God before he can save, before he can take the people north, Michael Langdon was the name of the guy that showed up. It's Cody Fern plays him. And yeah, he was that long hair and everything. He was bizarre.
Does he not look like Lucius Malfoy?
Yeah,
I saw him. I was like, he looks exactly like Chris Isaac. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I like Death Eater symbol. I'm just asking. That's all.
I really liked that scene, and I thought it was cool that like he can't get home now. He killed the horses. I don't know if he's even there to take anybody. He might just be there to torture and kill.
Right.
Maybe the devil knows that the one kid is, or that couple, right. maybe that couple, the reason they're saying like no copulation or whatever, maybe they're Mary and Joseph.
Right.
And that's what he's waiting for, this perfect storm so that they can have this baby without copulating, and
right.
he kills the baby and Jesus is gone.
Maybe.
Maybe he's trying to force the the son of God, and he kills the baby.
Mm-hmm.
He wins.
Maybe. I don't know.
And I could be completely off on all of this.
When's
but it did have the
Constantine
666.
showing up? That's all I got to know.
Oh my gosh, Matt Ryan needs to show up as Constantine and start busting heads.
Keanu was a good Constantine too. I contend
he was, but Matt Ryan really is Constantine.
He is. That's true.
So I'm waiting
to see if they get 4 people to show up, like the 4 horsemen in horse-drawn carriages. Because when the second and third one show up, then I'm going to be like, "You guys are doing this? That's crazy." Or does he represent the 4 horsemen if it's the apocalypse?
Oh, I don't know.
Because they made a big deal about the horses. A big deal, I thought. They showed them several times, and I don't think they're not going to waste. They're not going to waste valuable storytelling time. I mean, they might show them once, but they showed them like 4 or 5 times.
Right.
They killed them, and then they did this. So
I think we're onto something with this. I think we are. I also want to point out. Well, look. Okay, this one is called The End. The next one is called The Morning After. Then the next one is called Forbidden Fruit. The next one is called Could It Be
The Forbidden Fruit? What's gonna happen?
And then the next one is Could It Be Satan?
Michael Myers.
They don't have the names of the rest of them, but I just looked up Billy Eichner, and I might be right. In this season, he plays Brock, the character Brock. It's got him listed on IMDb in every episode. So
they do that sometimes because they probably, I don't
know, man. They don't have him in every episode of some of the other seasons. Last season, he's only in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
They did that, but they messed a couple things up last year, didn't they?
Well, and they actually, IMDb is never accurate when a show is in production.
Right.
They sometimes are guessing, or they get fed misinformation. I know for sure this show feeds misinformation because people like us are looking at what's going on here and trying to figure it out, and it's making us crazy. And they're going, how can we make them even crazier?
Well, because they talked about it, and this isn't a spoiler. They talked about it. There was a crossover between Coven and Murder House, right? Or Asylum.
Right.
Murder House. And so you see Sarah Paulson as the first character, and you're like, oh, of course, that's the crossover. No, it's not. So, although she might be in the later, because as a spoiler, just check out the IMDb or the Wikipedia and see the character she's playing, and you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, really? I don't want to know.
You're the one who's looking at IMDb, not me.
Well, I'm looking on IMDb. It's not on IMDb. It doesn't say anything. It just lists her as Wilhelmina.
Well, we'll talk about that later. So
you're killing me. You're killing me. What about Jessica Lange? Isn't she supposed to show up this season?
I think she's done.
No, I thought she was showing up. No, she is.
No, this is going to be great.
She is showing up.
Yes.
Yeah, and the last thing she did before this is she played Joan Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
Not Joan Collins, Joan Crawford.
Joan Crawford.
That
was a good show. We should have done that, but we didn't. So,
yeah, because we don't have enough time to do the show that we're doing.
Right.
All right. Okay. Oh, now I want to know who else is going to show up here. Sarah Paulson. Oh, well, Dennis O'Hare hasn't shown up yet. He always shows up, right?
He wasn't in the last one, was he? He wasn't in. He wasn't in.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. 216 was the last one he did. Yeah, he's not listed on here. Oh, that's a bummer. I always like seeing him.
Oh, he's awesome. He's fantastic.
Although that last season he did was Hotel. No. Didn't he do Roanoke?
Yeah, he played that crazy.
Yeah, the guy in the bunker.
The guy in the bunker. Well, he was like a scientist, wasn't he, or something? Wasn't he a psychologist? Is that what he was? I can't remember. We went crazy, and then
Yeah, I don't remember. You know who's not in it, according to this, is Frances Conroy.
No.
She's not in this season. This is the only season.
I wouldn't speak so quickly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On IMDb, she's not listed.
Well, Wikipedia might have different information than...
Dang it, Wikipedia. Well, you know what? I don't trust Wikipedia. I don't. Sorry, Wikipedia. You're like, nope, it's concrete.
I'm not saying it's concrete because they might have just taken all the characters from...
Oh, I'm not throwing it. I got another spoiler, and I'm not going to throw it out here. I see where there's a connection to a past season.
Yes, me too.
Oh, well, boy.
They've stated it, so it's not like they're lying.
Right, but I don't want... Oh, I see two of them. Oh, my God. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, I'm not saying anything more. Are we done with this episode?
Let me think. Hold on a second. So we covered that. I think so.
All right. Let's wrap this one up. We'll get into next season or the next episode next week.
We'll have crazier theories after we watch it.
Oh, guaranteed. People that are listening, we told you all that social media up front. Once again, Twitter is Disturbed Pod. Find us on Facebook for Disturbed Podcast. Look up Southgate Media Group. You can follow me, Rob Southgate, on Instagram or R Southgate on Twitter. We have an announcement. Oh, Chris, give your social media again.
Great. I can be followed at blueboxcafe.com or blueboxcafe176 on social media. Also, a tie-in, you can get us on GeeksCon with a Z, GeekzCon. It's a convention that Lil and I from This Week in Geek are putting together, and there'll be a whole lot of stuff on there coming. So
yeah. Well,
across the board on social media. So
that was the other thing I was going to say. Oh, and you can send us an email at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. But the other thing I wanted to say is September 29th at the Blue Box Cafe in Elgin, we are having the 4th annual SMG Podcast Marathon. I almost call it the Southgate Media Group. It's the SMG Podcast Marathon. It's a 4th annual one. It runs from 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. I know you thought it was 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., Chris. I was hoping. Incorrect. But here's the big news. I think this is the first time we've done it on the marathon. Disturbed is making an appearance.
Yes, we are.
So Chris and I will be on talking about something.
Hey, maybe we can wrap up season 7.
No, we can't do that there. We gotta do that here. I have a couple of ideas we'll talk about off air. But hey, if you're in the Elgin area, if you can make it out, even if you're in Chicago, I know you're gonna go, oh, but I had to drive an hour. Who cares? I drive that much all the time. Come on out. It's free. Suggested donation is $10, but it's free. Chris has great food. They have ice cream. They have sandwiches. They have great coffee drinks. Come out to the Blue Box. Enjoy some of that stuff. See the marathon. See Disturbed live. And then the other thing is, as long as you're making a day of it, not far from there is the Elgin Public Library. And that day during the day, a bunch of our artist friends are going to be there for Comic Book Mania. So there's a Comic-Con right there at the library with a bunch of really great artists. So go to that too. And Chris on October 6th and 7th, he and Lil have put together GeeksCon, which is a Comic-Con that will be in Elgin. And on October 6th at Otherworld Theater in Chicago, we are hosting the Women in Podcasting Festival. So lots of stuff to check out. You can find it on Blue Box Cafe. You can also find it at our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
And then
line up and everything is there.
So then for you, and also for you horror fans, October 20th in downtown Elgin is the city of Elgin's big party. It's called Nightmare on Chicago Street, which is
incredible too.
Which is an incredible event. 20,000 people doing all things doing all things horror, zombie. It's like a big Halloween party. It's $15 at the door, or 15 or 18. I can't remember the price if you buy it at the door. If not, you can get it online. Check out Nightmare on Chicago Street.
It's incredible.
Blue Box Cafe is at Ground Zero. We'll be open. We'll be there, but it's a great event just to go to. It's not kid friendly, but they do serve alcohol and it gets a little nuts at the end. So
I would say that if you're bringing your family, come early. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Because there's a lot of great costumes and it's a lot of fun, Halloween-y fun. But I'm telling you, once it starts to get dark, like really starts to get dark, like it's 9 o'clock, it shifts.
Yes.
That's when you probably want to move the kids out of there and, you know.
You're going to Vegas. You're going to New Orleans.
Put on your sexy Thelma costume and go out there.
And stop by and see us. So.
Yeah, all right. Your sexy Svengoolie outfit.
That's right.
I know you're going to be in that.
He'll be there. He's hosting. He's hosting the costume party event. So
awesome.
There's 3 stages. It's a great day. It's a great event. So I think it goes from 6 to 11 on the 20th. So check it out.
Cool. All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening, everybody. Do we have an ending to this? We've had one in the past.
Not enough said. What?
No. We checked out for the one. We got chopped in half by the other. For this one, I got it. Everybody, back to your bunkers. All right. That's it.